So since we did the oil change video, a lot of people have asked, how do I reset the service indicator on the dashboard? So for diesel Giuliettas, there's actually two different parameters that need resetting. The first one is the service interval counter, and the second is the oil change procedure. For petrol Giuliettas, I believe it's only the service interval counter that needs resetting. If your car hasn't reached the full distance between the service intervals, then you may not get the service warning up on the dashboard. But by adjusting the distance to the next service on the software, that will give you back the next 10,000 miles or whatever your figure is set to. So for example, if your car was set to 15,000 miles between services, but you've only done 10,000 and just serviced it, by resetting it back to 15,000, you'll get your 15,000 miles back. Out of the factory, the Giulietta comes with 9 service coupons. That's the number of times that the car will remind you that a service is due. The figure of 9 can be changed so that you keep getting the reminders. Or if the car is serviced 9 times or reaches the service distance 9 times interval, then it will stop reminding you and that indicator will never come up again. I think that may have happened on my car because I've not had a reminder for a couple of years now, but obviously we've been maintaining it and servicing it, etc. But obviously I want to check that to make sure everything's okay, and also want to show you out there in the world how you can do it too. And especially for Beyond Van Leeuwen, today we're resetting the onderhoudsinterval, or for everyone else, the service interval. So in the last video, we looked at how to connect the OBD port, or how to connect your diagnostic tool to the OBD port. So in this video, we're going to do exactly the same. We're going to start with the car connected to it. So I've got the panel off under here. I'm just going to connect back into the port here, wherever it is. I can't see from up here, but we're just going to connect that back on. Now we've got our lead, and what I think we might need is this yellow adapter, because it works on different pins for the service part of the diagnostics. So for the service elements of it, we're going to look at just over in this bottom corner over here, where the different parts or systems, shall we say, are available. You can see at the top we've got engine, which is the one that we connected to in the previous video. Then we've got various other elements, the ABS, airbag and so on, down through to service. So we're just going to click on service, and I think my one is the Siemens service, which is this top line here. If I just click off of it, you can see that we've got that alternative one there. So I'm just going to click onto Siemens, and what I'll do is just plug in this yellow adapter now straight into the connector. So that's now plugged in, and I'm just going to connect this straight in underneath the dashboard. So with the keys, just turn with the ignition on. I'm now just going to hit connect. It says connect adapter 3, or the yellow one. Press yes to continue. Connecting to ECU. And there we go, we're straight into where we need to be. So we're going to look at some of these parameters just by going onto the parameters tab here and just see what information we can get from it. So as we can see from here, we've got odometer, distance after last service, and all these other elements here as well. So we're just going to look at odometer, and that should obviously tell us how far we've got on the dashboard. So we've got 62,046 miles. In kilometers, we've got nearly 100,000 k. Distance after last service, the last time it was reset by anyone competent, shall we say, who was able to go into the system, was 77,000 kilometers ago. So I think it's way time that we need to reset that. Last service date, this will be interesting, apparently was the 25th of July 2018. So last time we took it into one of the dealers. Number of services, 1 apparently. I'm not sure if that's remaining or whether that is in actual fact how many it's listed as having. Service interval is listed at 35,000 kilometers. Okay, maybe that's why we haven't had a warning come up yet. And the distance till next service is still showing as nearly 13,000 kilometers. Okay, so I'm guessing that that's the reason why that we've not had the warning light come up on the dashboard just yet. So we'll look at that. Maybe we'll reduce that somewhat, because obviously waiting 35,000 kilometers in between services is not ideal. Okay, so the first thing I want to try and do is put this last service date in. So I've just looked back, it was the 7th of March the last time we did that. So I'm going to go down to the bottom right here, just where it says execute, and see if this is where I need to enter some information. Please read all notes, that's fine. So last service date, and we've got the configuration, date, month, year, so it was 07 2018, 0725 2018. Okay, so it should be 03 2021, 7th of March 2021. Okay, please confirm last service was 7th of the 3rd 2021. Yes, in progress. That's now writing that to the car and completed. Okay, next up we've got the service interval. This function allows you to write the set service coupon interval distance. So again, this one we're going to execute. Please read all the notes we have. Service interval 35,000 miles. So obviously let's drop that down, I think, to 10,000 miles. There we go. And what I'm going to do is just actually make that 9,000, not 90,000, 9,000, because I know that we've done a few miles since already. If I can actually hit the 9, there we go, 9,000. So that's writing that as well. Completed. Set number of service coupons. So how many have we got left? Let's have a look. There's only one left, so I'm going to up that. I'll put that back up to 9. So that the car will tell us for the next 9 times that we need a service, which is great. Next service, kilometre reset. The service due function informs about the drive distance and time available until the next service is due. The information starts to appear on the dashboard at every key on after less than 2,000. So, okay, and what's really interesting, just on this last page here, if I just zoom in a little bit, you can see basically this last line here. For diesel cars with diesel particulate filter, you also have to connect to the engine ECU and execute the oil change procedure. So that's the second item that I was saying about that we need to do in these Giuliettas. So not only do you need to reset that service indicator, but you also need to reset, should we say, the oil change procedure. So let's have a look at doing that now. Just looking back at these parameters here, the distance after last service, that reading there where it said 77,000 was actually the distance on the odometer, so how much is the mileage on the dashboard, and not the distance that you've travelled since you last had it serviced. Okay, so we've reset one item, which was the distance till next service, so we've reset that back to 9,000. So if we had our spanner light on our dashboard, I think that's the one that would have got rid of it. The next one we need to do, like it said, is the oil change from the engine element. So we're going to click on engine just over on the top left there, or middle left should we say, engine, and I believe from my one, because it's an early one, it's this top one here. So again, to connect, this time what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove the yellow adapter because I don't believe it needs it for this. Okay, so with that plug now connected and the key just put back into that position too, I'm just going to hit connect. Connecting to ECU, please wait. And there we go, we're straight into this screen now, again with similar information to that which we saw on the last service screen as well. So from here, we've got similar tabs along the top. So we've just got, if I move my finger out of the way, probably come back into focus. Errors, parameters, graph, actuators and adjustments. So if I go into errors, there's no fault codes there, which is great, really good. Parameters, we've got lots of great information here that we can have a look at and see exactly what's what. I think we looked at some of those in the last video. Then I believe on the graph, this is where we can have some live information if we selected some of those points. So maybe we'll look at that in a second. Actuators, so we can actually make some elements come on, I think, if we were trying to diagnose points, bits and pieces. And then adjustments, this is where we can adjust the points that we need to look at. For the first one at the top here, we can see it says oil change, only for version with DPF. So this procedure updates the parameters relating to the engine oil quality in the control unit. This procedure is necessary every time the engine oil is replaced on vehicles with diesel particulate filter and when the low oil pressure LED blinks in the dashboard. Turn the key off and wait 60 seconds after successful execution of this procedure to let the ECU reset its internal register. So we're going to execute this because we changed our oil recently. Please read all notes, which we just have out loud. Hit yes. Again, the software tells us that it's in progress. All the time on the dashboard there's nothing particularly happening, it just says complete. Turn the key off, so we're going to follow the instruction. Turn the key off, taking it out, it's right here. Press yes to continue. There we go, it's recognised it itself, and I'm just going to wait now 60 seconds. Okay, that's now been just over a minute, so I'm going to put the key in the ignition, just turn it on to position 2. Right front door open because it's a sunny day at the moment, so I'll just shut that. Got no faults, no anything. We can see our oil light just on the dashboard there. So just check we're in neutral, start the engine. Oil light's gone off. Not that it was on previously, but just checking that it's all okay. Handbrake light is on. No other warning lights, no other error messages. So that reset was perfect. So if we've done our own service at home, you know, we've changed our oil, we've changed our filters, we want to get rid of those engine oil warning lights and stuff like that now, then we've been able to do that exactly. We've changed our two components on here, the two parameters, one on the engine which was the oil element, and the other one which was the distance until next service. So that's all done. That's the two components that we need to change, and that's it. The service is now complete, so we're all back up and running, and that would be everything. So hopefully that's been useful. If you've enjoyed it, you know, give us a like down below. If you've not done so already, give us a subscribe coming up here now. Like I say, you know, more subscribers I get, the more videos I'll make. Really enjoying it at the minute. There's lots going on. I want to try and get the brakes done soon. I'm just getting some quotes from different suppliers, so really looking forward to getting that done. So yeah, in the meantime, thanks for watching, really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.